up here as we continue along. Texas and Kansas in the Big 12. Texas 9.5-point road favorites, 64 being the total in this game. You look at Texas, I can't explain. I can't explain what happened to Texas last week. It was an offense that just completely stuck in the mud against TCU. A weird game. They end up losing 17-10 to the Horned Frogs in that game. Quinn Ewers, you got to give TCU credit. Quinn Ewers has had some nice performances, some really good games this year for the Longhorns, and to hold him to 17 of 39, less than 50% completions, 171 passing yards, hold him without a passing touchdown, and 1 interception for that game, to hold Bijan Robinson to 29 rushing yards. Are you kidding? What a defensive effort that was by the Horned Frogs. Shocking for a TCU team that we've seen them also get ripped apart defensively in several of their games this year, and they just put a clinic on the board essentially against Texas, held them to just 304, rushing total yards in that game. So it was just impressive to see what we got from Texas, less than 200 total yards. 199. How about the fact that Bijan Robinson is thought of to be an upper echelon running back this season in college football, and collectively TCU holds Texas to 28 rushing yards on 22 attempts. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe that the TCU defense was that good, because we've also seen the TCU defense give up points. So let's see what Texas does to bounce back from that. They're at 6-4. They're probably not in the Big 12 mix anymore in terms of winning the conference at this stage. Kansas is coming off the loss against Texas Tech, 43-28, kind of a hangover after clinching bowl eligibility. So I think it's too many points here, and I always like Kansas in the dog roll. I stayed off. They were in the dog roll last week, but again, I didn't like that spot coming off clinching bowl eligibility. It was a big deal for the program. You wondered if the focus was going to be there against Texas Tech. It was not. So I think this week the focus is there. You got Texas coming into town, and let's not forget, Kansas was last year down the stretch when they were starting to get better under Lance Leipold. They played Texas and they beat Texas in that wild, crazy game, 57-56 in overtime. And keep in mind, 2 years ago against Texas, Texas won, but by 2 points, 50-48. Both games flew over the total. Kansas has actually covered 5 in a row against Texas head-to-head going back to 2016. So I like the dog here. Kansas getting 9 against Texas as home underdogs in this game. I think they can hang around, and I certainly would lean a little bit to the over here. I know Texas's offense got totally shut down last week. I don't think that will be the case here, and Kansas should be able to score some points of their own as well, even with Jason Bean at quarterback. So we've lost Conor Mack, but our producer behind the scenes, Big Show, is stepping up here. So I guess I'll throw it to you, Big Show. Anything you got to say, Texas, Kansas here?
Yeah, I'm just a spot filler here just to get the game screen up for you so they're not all goofy. But I'm not going to give a prediction. I'm just going to say I think Kansas wins.
Wins. Well, I'll tell you what, last 2 years, my Big Show, we've got a 2-point loss, and then they did 2 years ago, and then they did beat Texas last year. So they've been right there competitive with Texas the last 2 years. So yeah, I'm with you.
It's not so hollow. I'm going to go 29-22 Kansas.
There you go, 29-22. Oh, a little lower scoring. I like that. All right.